This conference will now be recorded.
Let's say you have something called system landscape. We call it as a system landscape. When you talk about a system landscape, you will have three servers or three applications within SAP in any client most commonly. The first one that you will have is development client. Second one you call it as quality client. Third one you call it as production client. Okay, when you talk about client, you're talking about a 3-digit numeric code. Whenever you talk about a client, you're talking about 3-digit numeric code. For example, if you try to log into the system, if you try to log into the system, here you're able to see a 3-digit number which is 800. So this 800 is called as client. When you are talking about development, you are representing a development followed by the client number. Now, in your project, within the development, there will be most commonly three clients. In development, you are going to have three clients. If I split this development, so you are going to have, let's say, this is an example. The number may be different. The number may be different depending on the project, depending on the organization. First one will be development 100. Second one, I will say development 110. Third one, I will say development 200. These are just an example numbers, but depending on the organization, depending on the project, these numbers may be different. For example, within development, you understood there are three clients. First, development 100, what will be the usage or why we will use this development 100? This development 100 is normally used for functional configurations. This development 100 is used for functional configuration. If you're talking about a FICO consultant, are we called as functional consultant or technical consultant?
Functional.
Functional.
So if you're calling it as FICO consultant is always called as functional consultant. Any configuration as a FICO consultant which you are doing is called as functional configuration. Whether you're talking about functional configuration or FICO configuration, you will be doing this configuration in development 100 client. Similarly, development 110. So this is used for technical developments. When you're talking about technical developments, we are talking about a technical consultant related work, correct? When you're talking about technical development, we are talking about a technical consultant. In general, which module is called as technical consultant? In general, basis and ABAP. So your basis and ABAP are part of your technical modules. They are called as technical consultants. Majoritarily, your ABAP consultant will be doing changes in the technical system or in the technical server or the technical developments. You must have heard something called a rise of objects, correct? You must have heard something called rise of objects.
Yes, sir.
Reports, enhancement, all these kind of things. All these things are performed by the ABAP consultant or technical consultant. These technical consultants will initiate their work or will perform their activities in development 110 client. In short, technical developments are carried out in development 110 client or development 110 server. Now, whatever you are doing, whether it is a configuration or it is a development, this is to be tested whether it is working fine or not. Agree?
Yes.
Whether I do any configuration or I get any development done, or if I get any development created, I need to test whether the configuration is working fine or whether the development is working fine or not. To perform this kind of a testing, I need a test server. I need a test server or I need a test client. This testing client or this testing server is called as development 200. In development 200, you will be carrying out functional testing. In development 200, you will be performing functional testing. When you are talking about functional testing, you are in short representing testing of the business functionality. Correct? When you talk about functional testing, you are talking about testing the business process functionality. Now, your testing is based on what? To perform a test, what do we need?
Whatever we configure.
So, to perform a testing, you need something called a test case or a test script. Agree? So, based on the test cases, based on the test script, you will be testing. If I want you to test, in development, what are you going to test? I need to tell you what to test, yes or no?
Yes.
If I'm asking you to test something in the development server, I have to tell you what you need to test in development. Whatever I want you to test is called as a test case or is called as a test script. In every project, you are going to have the list of test cases. You are going to have the list of test script, which is prepared at the beginning of the project. During your initial preparation of the project, wherein you are going to prepare your business blueprint, all these kind of things. At that stage, you are going to identify the major business processes. In each business process, what are all the functionalities that the client is using? Based on the client using functionalities, you are going to draft different test cases. These test cases are also called as a test script. So based on the test cases, based on the test script, you are going to carry out testing in development 200. When you're talking about a test case, when you're talking about a test script, in short, let's say you're creating a document. In short, if you're creating a document, in general, do you have one single transaction for creating a document, or we have multiple transactions for creating a document? To create a document, do we have single transaction code or we have multiple transaction codes?
Single.
To create a document, can I
Multiple
create the
transaction
document
codes.
from single T code or I can use multiple T codes?
Single.
Single, are you sure? Let's say,
We can
so
have
far we have
multiple.
used F-02, you have used F-43, you used F-53, you used FB50, you used FB60. Likewise, there are different transaction codes in which you can pass a document. Correct?
Yes.
Posting of a document in F-02 will be called as a test case or is called as a test script. Similarly, posting of a document using F-43 is another test case, F-53 is another test case, FB50, FB60. Likewise, for every transaction, this is called as a test case. You need to make sure in every transaction you are able to record, you are able to post the document. Whether you are able to post the document or system is giving any errors. To make sure that there are no errors, you are able to pass the document successfully without any issues. For this purpose, you are going to do a unit testing in the development 200 client. So whatever the functional testing that you are doing in development client is called as unit testing. This is called as unit testing. When you are performing unit testing, you are going to perform the unit testing based on your test script or test cases. There will be a separate Excel sheet which is represented as a test script document or test case document. In this test script, in this test case, you need to make sure each and every transaction is tested, and for everything you are going to put the remarks. If you are posting a document, you will put a remark document posted successfully, you need to update the document number in the document. Similarly, if you are posting a document, what next will happen after posting a document? You need to display the document, correct? If the document is posted, you need to display the document. Now, display of a document is another test script. Display of document is another test script or is another test case. You need to verify if you are able to display the document or not. Second one, once you display the document, you need to change the document if there are any mistakes or if there are any updations, modifications required. If you want to change the document, you need to go to another transaction code FB02. You need to test if you are able to change the document or not. Now, everything that you are going to test, everything that you are going to use in your project, each and every transaction, each and every scenario is called as a test script or test case. Initially, all these functionalities will have to be tested by you as a FICO consultant in development. Now, this testing, whatever you are doing in development, you call it as UT. For this UT, for this unit testing, you need to prepare a document. Whatever you are testing, you need to prepare a document, assuming that you have made the configurations and you have moved your configurations to 200. Here, another point that you need to understand. So, we are talking about configurations are made in development 100 client. You are going to make configurations in development 100 client and testing is done in development 200 client. So here we are not talking about another client called 110. This 110 client is not used by us as a functional or as a FICO consultant. This client is used by exclusively ABAP consultant, not by you. Clear? You will not be using this. This will be used by ABAP. So let me write here. This is FICO consultant. This is ABAP consultant. This is again FICO consultant. Wherever your involvement is there, those points you must remember. Wherever your involvement is not there, it is fine even if you do not know about it. But wherever you are involved, that you have to be very clear why you are involved, what you are doing, and at what stage what activity is performed by you when you are in a project. First, what you are going to do in the development 100, you are going to perform the configuration. Once you perform the configuration, you cannot test in development 100. Testing in development 100 is strictly not allowed. Okay, testing in this client is not allowed. Apart from configuration, apart from certain mandatory master records, apart from config and apart from certain mandatory master records, nothing is created in development 100 because to perform certain configurations you require master record. For example, in the previous class we talked about special GL configuration. For us to do the down payment, we need to create special GL configuration. If I talk about special GL config, let me log in here. We went inside FBKP transaction code. In FBKP, we have gone inside special GL. In this, we were using, let's say, anything. Down payment request, DEGR. Let's say I'll put one GL account which is not available. I'll put a GL account which is not available. When I press enter, am I able to create this configuration without the master data or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? You are able to create this. You are able to create this without master data. Now, is this master record mandatory to be created in development 100 to perform this config or not required? Is
Not
this
required.
master record is optional or mandatory in development 100?
Optional.
This is optional because even without this you are able to create the config. Let's say now I'll create we've also created something called assessment distribution cycle. Let me open inside. I'll go inside the segment. Something I'll give. Okay, it is not there. DEGR. In this client we've created. If I go inside this, if I try to give a group, let's say test, is this allowing me to create this configuration if I do not have this master record? I'm trying to access or I'm trying to use a master record while creating the distribution cycle configuration. Now, is my configuration dependent on master record or it is optional? Can I complete this without this master record called cost center group? Possible or not?
No, sir.
This is not possible. So there is no other option. I need to create this master record in development 100 client also. Like this, there will be certain master records which are mandatory to be configured in your development 100 client. In case if somebody is asking you, do you create master record or do you create master data in development 100 client or in your configuration client or in your sandbox client or in your golden client? So your answer should be yes, but not all the master data, only the master record which are relevant, which are dependent on the configuration. Something like this. You can tell these kind of examples and then explain. If you want to create any distribution cycle, if you want to use cost center group, cost center group is a master data. Cost center group is a master data. Or if you want to use the individual cost center, or if you want to use individual cost center. So if I try to put individual cost center 66 something I am giving, is this allowing me to create this?
Yes, sir.
Is it allowing cost center? But when I put something in the cost center group, is this allowing?
No.
No, right? So certain master records are allowed during your configuration even if they do not exist. Certain master records are not allowed in your configuration if they do not exist. In such cases, in such scenarios, you must create the master record in development 100 and then you will have to complete your configuration. So when somebody is asking what you will do in development 100 or in your golden client, you must tell you will be creating configurations plus certain mandatory master records which have the dependency on the config. So you will be performing only configuration in development 100. Now you are not going to test in 100, you are going to test in 200. The moment you log into 200, you are unable to make any modifications. You cannot perform any configuration changes in development 200 because this development 200 is non-modifiable client or is a display client. When we say non-modifiable client or when we say display only client, no configuration is allowed. Anything which is related to configuration change, if you find that something is not working because of some settings are missing, now you know which setting is to be modified, which setting is to be made, to fix a problem. Since you are testing in development 200, you found a problem, you cannot fix it in development 200, you must go back to development 100, log into development 100 system, make the configuration whatever you want to fix it, and then you need to move the configuration from development 100 to development 200. Now this development 100, development 200, are these two from same client or from different client?
Different.
Different.
Development 100, development 200, are they from same client or are they from different client?
Same client.
Different.
Same.
Different.
Same.
This is your client number 1. This is your client number 2. This is your client number 3. Now tell me, development 100, development 200, are they from same client or are they from different client?
They're from the same client.
Same
They
client.
are from the same client. It is from the development itself. Within development, you are going to have two different clients, one for development configuration, one for development testing. At the end, these two are called as development server, development client only. Now, if I wanted to move the configuration, should I move the configuration within the client or between the clients?
Both are possible.
In this case, if I wanted to test in development 200, my configuration will have to be moved within the client or between the client.
Within the client.
Within the client.
Within.
So config to be moved within client, config to be moved between clients. So in this case, from development 100 to development 200, is this within client or between client?
Within client.
This is within client
Within.
because these two are within the development server, or these two are part of development. Now testing is done in development 200. After moving configs from development 100, correct? You will perform testing in development 200 after moving configurations from development 100. Now we will do client copy of configs from development 100 to development 200 using SCC1 transaction code, correct? Now for example, let's say you have made a configuration. For easy understanding, I'll create one business area and I'll delete it, assuming that I have deleted this. I am saving it. This is giving a configuration request. Whenever you find this is called as your customization prompt, or this is called as TR request. This number is called as a TR number. Whatever the number you see here, this is called as TR number. Now, this is the TR number. All your configuration is stored in this TR number. This TR number is of two types. TRs are two types. First one is your customization request. What is the second one?
Workbench request.
First one is customization request. Second one is your workbench request. One is your customization, the other one is workbench. As a functional consultant, whatever you do or whatever the configs that you do, majoritarily are they customization or workbench?
Customization.
Customization.
As a FICO consultant, whatever you do, majoritarily they are customization requests. There are certain things that will trigger workbench request, especially when you make any changes in your validation substitutions, or if you make any changes in your IBAN numbers, certain changes in the configs which will update directly in the program level, or certain things which will update directly at client level, cross client level. So there are certain settings wherein you are going to get workbench request also. If you look at this, for example, you are able to see the task or the request description as customizing request. Correct? Now let's say, for example, where do we get workbench request? Let me go to business partner. One sec. Create another session. BP. I'll take any one business partner. Let me go inside payment transaction and I'll move to change mode. I'll try to update some IBAN number. So this is actually the logic based. We cannot put our own IBAN number, not identical. So basically, when you make any changes in your IBAN number, you are going to trigger a workbench request. When you make any changes in the IBAN number, you will be triggering a workbench request. Or another one, wherein if I show you something like this on BRS, financial accounting, bank accounting, bank accounts, sorry, business transaction, payment transaction, bank reconciliation, variant for manual bank reconciliation. If I try to make anything, let's say I'll copy this, T1, something like this, I'll click on save. Now when I'm trying to save this, what is the TR category here? This is giving you the
Workbench.
workbench request. So clearly system will tell you whatever the TR that is getting generated, whether it is a customizing request or it is a workbench request. Now there are only limited places, there are only limited configurations that as a functional consultant you perform, which will trigger workbench request. This is also one of the point that you may be questioned. Can you tell me the configurations wherein the workbench request is generated, or for what kind of settings the workbench request will be generated? So you cannot say just like that the definition, you must explain it with one of the valid configurations wherein the workbench request will be generated. Something like this. Clear? So there are two type of TRs. While saving the TR, you will come to know whether it is a customizing request or it is a workbench request. That is clearly mentioned here. Okay, I'll close this. Now, whenever you perform any configuration, we will be performing the configuration in development 100. Now, you are going to test it in development 200. For you to test the data in development 200, you need to have all the configurations. You need to have all the configurations to be available in development 200. As I said, development 200 is non-modifiable client. If I go to SCC4, if I take this is what the client that we are using, 800. If you see this changes and transport for client specific object, you have something called automatic recording of changes. So system is going to record all the changes that you are going to make, and it will save them in the transport request, either customization or workbench. For your development 200 client, it will be no changes allowed. For your development 200, it will be no changes allowed, which means anything that you are going to open, any configuration related screen. For example, if I go to OX03, I am able to see a new entry here, which means I can add, I can delete, I can modify the existing record. This is called as your configuration screen. If I log into development 200 for the same transaction code, I will be on the display like this. I will be on display like this. Let me put the same screen on the other side. OX03. Now right hand side you are able to see new entries, copy, delete option. Left hand side those options are not enabled, correct? Left hand side the new entries and all are not enabled because by default you are able to see the display view. Apart from development 100, development 200, quality, production, any configuration screen that you access, by default that is in display mode. You cannot modify any configuration. Even if you try to do it, that is not possible unless the client is open for configs. Normally we do not open client for direct configurations. It is very rare. 99% no client of quality production will be opened for direct modifications except in some emergency cases. So for anything, whether it is high priority, any kind of a priority, you must log into development 100, make the necessary change. Even if it is just adding a tick mark, let's say I just wanted to make Bangalore, the spelling is wrong, or I need to put dot here. So it's only a dot, but still even for this dot, you need to log into development 100, put the dot, save it, you will get a TR. You will get a TR, copy this TR and then move the TR to the development 200. Make sure in development 200 this dot is reflecting on your business area. After that, move the changes to quality and then move the changes to production. Even if it is a single dot, no other exception, you must perform configuration and move it to different clients, different servers. If you are moving the data from development 100 to development 200, for this you need to perform something called, one sec, for which you need to do something called TR movement. For this TR movement you are going to use SCC1 transaction code. Let me add one more point here. TR will be moved to development 100 to development 200 by FICO consultant only. If you are a FICO consultant, you did configuration as a FICO consultant, you only should move your TR from development 100 to development 200. Basis consultant will not move within the client. Basis consultant will move the TR between the clients. Within the client is always by the same consultant who created the TR. Now what you are going to do, you are going to access the transaction code SCC1. If you go to SCC1, this is what it will display On the SEC1, this is what it is asking. Now this SEC1, is this asking source client or target client?
Source client.
This is asking for source client. If this is asking for source client, are we supposed to do this in source client or target client?
Target.
Target client.
If system is asking you to input source client, you will have to perform this activity in source client or target client. Where should I perform this SEC1? Source or
Target.
target?
Target.
Target client. Now these are all the possible questions that you might get when you're in interview, or these are the simple basic points that you're not supposed to ask anybody when you're in a project. If you're asking these kind of questions upfront, this gives a negative impression. Let's say we are talking about, I'll put development 100 here, and then I'll put development 200 here. I'm talking about releasing of a TR. To release a TR, I know the T code is SCC1. In which client I should open SCC1? Is it development 100 or is it development 200?
So 200.
I need to open SCC1 in development 200. Clear? Any question here?
Sir, I have a confusion.
Yes,
Sir, within a same server, we have a 3 client.
correct.
Okay.
One
So
for
within this,
functional consultant to do the configuration, second one for the technical consultant to do the developments, third one for the both functional and technical to do the testing.
Same server.
Same server. Only for your
Uh,
configuration development you will have the respective server.
Sir, we
Okay.
are using 800 server right now. As you earlier said, it is not possible to test anything in development server. But in development server 800, but it is possible to test anything, sir. How is possible, sir?
See, in whatever the client that you configure, in the single client you can do everything.
Okay.
Okay, in one client you can do everything, but it is the general practice, the standard practice
Be-
provided by SAP, that whatever you are configuring, you are not supposed to change, you are not supposed to create any master record, any transaction, any reports on the config client. It has to be updated only with the configuration. Anything that
That
you
means
want to test,
it is not possible to change anything in development 100, right? Only 200.
changes are
If we
possible.
have
No,
changes are possible. Okay.
changes of, see, in short, if you take a particular client, let's say if you take this client, this is your client 800, correct?
Yes.
In this you are able to make configurations.
Yes.
Sir.
In the same client, are you able to create master record?
Yes.
The same client, are you able to record transactions?
Yes.
Same client, are we able to create reports, generate the reports?
Yes.
Yes.
So in one client you can do anything, but in real time it is not the way that is followed. Since this is the testing client, in the test environment nobody will create the different clients and the different mapping is not enabled. Our ID is created only in one client, but in real time your ID will be created in two clients in development. You will have ID in development 100, you will have ID in development 200 also. While logging in, you need to input the client number. Whenever you log in, let's say this is my ID, this is my password. But I need to know what I want to do. When I logging into the system, I must know why I am logging into the system, what I want to do. If my intention is to create the configuration, I need to change the client number as 100. Your basis consultant will put a default client code here. The moment you log into development, it will appear as client number 100. Now, if your intention is to do the configuration, log into 100 client. Let's say if your intention is to do the testing, you should manually change this 100 to 200. Clear?
Understood.
Okay. Now, to do the transport changes or to copy the configurations from development 100 to development 200, you must log into development 200 client, open the transaction SCC1, in which it will ask you to input the source client. If you look at this, it is asking the source client. In which client did we make the configuration?
100.
You made the configuration in development 100. You need to put development 100 here, and you need to put the TR number. Whatever the TR you have, you need to put that TR number here, and you need to click on include task in the request, and the test run you need to click on start immediately. This is a message because in this server there is no 100 client. So when you click on this, you will get a message at the bottom that processed or task released successfully. You will get a message, it is processed successfully. When you see the success message, remove the test run, click on start immediately. The moment you click on start immediately, whatever the configuration changes that are updated in this TR will automatically reflect in client 200. Clear up? Immediately all the changes, all the config settings that you maintained in this TR will be reflected in development 200. That's clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I
Yes,
have
sir.
one doubt.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, in implement at the time of implementation project, for example, we configure in development, and we for testing we transport to 200. And when I am testing, I am facing some error. At that time, we need some configuration changes. Then how I do?
You will again logging into the development 100. You will make the changes. This TR will be open as long as you have not released it to quality system. One TR in development can be used multiple times. Okay. Now
Sir,
this
after
TR,
after releasing, we can release.
I'll explain you here. First, let's talk about this. Then I'll talk about the point that you're talking about.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So first we are trying to release the TR from development 100 to development 200. Now the TR currently, let's say this is development 100, development 200. Next I'll say quality. Quality, let's say I have 200, and I would say production is 100. Clear? This is my system landscape. These are the servers that I have in my environment. Now this is the TR. This is the TR which is currently created here. Now this TR from development 100 to development 200 will get copied when you perform SCC1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now currently where is the TR? At what stage your TR is currently sitting?
200.
Development 200. Now when your TR is in development 200, is it within development or it crossed development?
Within development.
This is within development. If your TR is within development, you can add as many configurations as you want. You can make as many modifications as you want. Do additional configurations, make the changes, again perform SCC1, use the same TR. Whatever the changes you made will get reflected in development 200. Okay.
Got it,
If
sir.
your TR is still in development 200, let's say you tested in development 200, you found everything is working fine. If everything is working fine, then you will be proceeding to quality system to perform UAT, user acceptance test.
Yes, sir.
Alright, to perform UAT or user acceptance test, what is the T code that we will be using to release TR to quality?
SC09.
So you will be using
SE10.
SC09. Both can be used. You can use either SC09 or SC10. Where do you open SE09, SE10? Is it in source client or is it in target client?
Target.
Target client.
Source line.
Source or target?
Source.
To bring this, you'll have to use source client. Here you have to go to either SE09 or SE10. What I'll do now, I'll open SE09. I'll come out of this SE09. If I come to SE09, it will ask you the user ID in which you have the TR. Let's say I give my user ID, in this TR is currently there. And you need to select whether you want to check the workbench request or customization request. I want to select, let's say, both customization and workbench. And then what is the status? Whether you want modifiable state TR or you want released state TR. If it is modifiable state, if the TR is within development, this is called as modifiable TR. If the TR crossed development, it has reached quality, then this is called as released TR. Clear? If the TR is within development, that is modifiable TR. If the TR is crossed your development, whether it is in quality or it is in production, this is called as released TR. Clear? Modifiable means TR is still in development. Released means TR crossed development. It is either in quality or in production. Let's say I'll click on display. If I click on display, for example, I have something called this TR. Let's say I want to release this TR. You are able to find change request. This is your CR. This is your modifiable. If I look at this, what is the TR number last 2 digit? What is the TR number last 2 digits?
24.
Last 2 digits.
47.
47.
47. This is called 47. Now in every TR you have two things. Your TR contains two things. Two things. One is main task. Second one is subtask. Now if you look at the TR, let's say whatever is here. First one, what is the last number, last 2 digits? 47. Last 2 digits is 47. Now whatever the TR that you see is called as main task. Is called as what? Main task. You will have immediate next number. What is the immediate next number for 47?
48.
48.
48. If I expand this, I have a plus mark here. If I click on this plus icon, I'll get an expansion. This is showing me 48. Is this the next number? Correct? Yes. I have 47. If I expand 47, I am able to see 48. 47 is your main task. 48 is a subtask. Or this is called as parent. This is called as child. In short, main task, subtask. Any TR that you create, any config change that you make, when you click on save, you get a prompt, you get a number. That number is always main task number, not the subtask. Subtask is automatically created by the system, which is always the immediate next number of the main task. If your main task is 47, subtask will be 48. When you want to release the TR from development to quality, you need to log in to the source client, which is your development 100. Whenever you're talking about source client, talking about source client, you're talking about the client in which the configuration is performed. Where did you perform configuration?
Development 100.
Development 100. So whenever you're talking about a source client, you should always remember the config in which you have performed is your source client. In short, development 100. From development 100, before you release the task or before you release the TR, first you should open the main task and then check how many subtasks you have. In one main task, you can create multiple subtasks also. Under one parent, you can have multiple child tasks or multiple subtasks. I need to create this, I need to release the subtask first. To release the subtask, I need to select my TR, expand it. Currently, how many subtasks we have?
1.
Only one. So before I release the main task, I need to release a subtask. So let's say that I don't know how to release a subtask and all. Straight away, I have selected this. To release it, I need to transport. We are talking about a transporting. You will find an icon which is similar to truck or the transport here. So you'll find this a truck icon. This is your transport related icon. If I click on this, there is a message at the bottom referencing a task ending with 48 not yet released. I am trying to select 47. I am trying to release it, but system is giving me a message task ending with 48 not yet released. Correct? The moment you look at the number, you're talking about 47. System is telling you 48. This 48 is a subtask. To open the subtask, you need to expand this link. When you expand this link, you will find 48. If you see the 48, this is represented as customizing a task. If I click on this subtask, it will give you the list whatever the configurations that you have performed. If you open everything, you will come to know all the settings that you have made. These are all the tables that system is showing. In what table, what data is updated. You can navigate and you can verify all the settings that are performed in a particular TR. Now we need to release a subtask. Click on the subtask 48, select this icon, release directly or F9. If I do it, I am getting a message, task 48 has been released to request 47. Now you will find a tick mark. Now you will find a tick mark here. Can you see a checkbox, tick mark? This tick
Yes.
mark
Yes, sir.
represents the subtask has been released to main task. Let me open the another one, 60. If I open 60, next to 61, there is no tick mark like this, correct? If there is no such tick mark, this is called as this subtask is not yet released to main task. This TR is open. Now once I release it, I can now release the 47. When I click on this 47, if I click on release, so in the backend, your basis consultant will create a mapping when you release from development 100 where it should go. So the source client target client mapping is defined by the basis team. They will define from where to where, on what basis your TRs will be moved. It's taking a little time, but all these things will work at faster pace when you're in the real environment. Test servers will take some time to load from the backend. So it is telling could not start control program TP. Let me select it again. Sorry, it is now disappearing from here, correct? Now if you see this, cancelled release can be repeated. It is telling there is some error. 48 it is giving, but 47 there is some error. If I select this, if I try to release it again, now it is telling task is already released. Now if you see the error message disappeared, you will find a tick box on both the things, subtask and main task. Correct? 48 has a tick box which is released. 47 also has a checkbox which represents the TR has been released. Now when you see this TR has been released, when you do this thing, now it is easy for your basis consultant to import the TR. Normally to the quality and to the production, do we export or import TR? In quality and in production, do we export TR or do we import TR?
Import.
Export.
Do you import or export to quality and then to the production?
We export
What you will do?
from development.
Export, sir.
Export.
You have exported from development. Let's say I want to see this TR in quality or production. Which T code will be used? There is something called STMS underscore import. Anybody heard this TR? This T code?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If you go to STMS underscore import, your basis consultants will be using this one to import the TR to your quality system and to the production system. So when you release the TR from development, it is possible for them to import that in the quality and in the production. If you do not release it from the development, it cannot be imported in quality and production. Clear? So it is still loading. You can see this orange, whatever is filled up, till that it is loaded, which means half, 50% TRs are loaded. It is telling there is some messages, which means we do not have authorization, certain errors, because we don't have the roles or the authorization related to basis. That is why we are unable to access, or we are getting some errors here. Import queue could not be read. So here you will get all the TR numbers. Here you will get all the TR numbers. From here your TRs will be imported to the production system. Go back. Now in short, if I go back to this again, SE09 is what we have seen. Whatever you are able to see on SE09, let me open SE10. Is it same SE10?
Yes.
9 and 10 are they same? So if I go to SE11, this is different. If I go to SE01, so this is also different. I'll go back. So in short, you will be using either SE09 or SE10 to release the TR from development 100 to development 200. In short, client copy of the TR. If you want to move it to quality, you must use SE09 or SE10 in the development system, so that you will be able to import the TR in quality or in production using STMS underscore import. Correct? Any doubt so far?
Within the client we need to copy, and between the client, one client to another client, to move the TR, right, sir?
Yes, you need to follow export import concept. You need to export it from source and then you need to import in the target.
Within the client we need
So
to
once
copy,
we
right,
move
sir?
the TR to the quality, that we can use the same TR now, sir. We need to
Yeah,
create
same tier
another
number.
TR.
Once
So
it is
once
moved to
we
quality, let's say you've identified certain things are not working, you need some modifications. Now, since you see the status of the TR is currently in quality, this cannot be modified. The status of this TR is now updated as released. Released TR cannot be used for additional configuration. When you do additional configuration, you must create another TR. Okay, you must use another tier. Let's say 87, 88 you'll have to use, because 86 is main task, 87 will be sub task, the next main task will be 88, sorry, 78. Clear? Once tier crossed development, you will have to make another tier to do any changes.
Sorry, sir. Please, sir, repeat again. This tier 76 and 78.
If you look at any tier, if you see this is a 60. Now 60 always contains two numbers, 60 and 61, correct?
Yes, sir.
60 and 61. Let's say after this you created another TR. After 60, your next TR will not be 61 because it is already assigned under 60. What is the next number? 62.
62.
So 62, 63 will be next TR. After that, you will get 65, 66. Every TR contains two, one main task, one subtask. So whenever you see the next TR, it is always jumping by one number. It always skips the next number because the next number is a subtask. Clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, after transfer to quality, when we again develop some in development client, it will generate a main tax, na?
Main task.
Okay.
Again, same steps you need to repeat. Again, you need to move this TR to client copy. You need to test here. You understood whatever the mistakes that you are getting in the, or whatever the errors you are getting in quality. After making the additional changes, you need to test them again in development 200. Make sure those errors are not coming. Once you are sure that those errors are not coming, release this TR also to quality. Once everything is released to quality, you need to get the approval and the acceptance from the user. Your user will have to tell you, yes, this has been tested, it is working fine. Based on this, your client will provide the approval. In every project, from the client side, there is somebody called approved or authorized person to release the TR. So that authorized person will have to confirm you on the email, okay, please move the changes to production system. Based on the user confirmation, based on the client approval, you will send an email to basis. Basis consultant will release these two TRs to the production system. So before you move any change to the production system, you need to configure it in development 100. As a consultant, you need to test in development 200. Once you are convinced, once you are okay with your testing, move the changes to quality. In quality, test along with the user, get user confirmation that it is working fine. Based on that user confirmation, get the client approval or the client sign off for moving the TR to production. After that only your TR can be moved to production. To production, this will be moved by your basis consultant. Now to
So
check
does
if
the
the TR
quality
is moved,
server, so does the quality
qual
server also available with the users also, because they also
yes,
check?
quality server
Okay,
is with both user and the consultant. Only the development which is
okay,
with consultant, quality and production
okay,
is with both consultant and user.
okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Sir, we have already made some changes to the existing TR. So what about
Mhm.
the old TR? What will be happen to that one?
So you are not going to repeat the same settings in the new TR. Whatever the settings that are already made in the old TR, okay, they will remain as it is. Now you are going to make the delta changes. When I say delta changes, the additional settings or missing settings you will make in the new TR. If you look at this, you have two TRs or one TR here.
Two TR, sir.
Two TRs. Let's say in the first TR you have made some 10 settings. In first TR you made some 10 settings. Let's say one setting is missing. So when you do the second TR, are you going to do 11 settings or you are going to do only one setting in the next TR?
Only additional one.
Only one.
Only one setting you will do here. Now
Right.
your functionality contains 11 settings or one setting. The process to work, is it requires 11 settings to be in place or one setting in place?
11 settings.
For that particular process to function, it requires 11 settings to be in place. Now, are these 11 settings in the same TR or these 11 settings are split in multiple TRs?
Multiple.
These settings are multiple TRs. Now, how do I know which one to be moved first, which one to be moved next? So there is something called sequence. There is something called TR sequencing or TR sequence. You need to first move the 10 settings. After that, you need to move the one setting, correct? Otherwise, the order will get changed. Yes, no? So whenever I know
Yes, sir.
that I have created the configuration in multiple TRs, this is quite common because in single TR, it may work, it may not work. So whatever the changes, whatever the errors, corrections that you are getting, you are going to add another TR, you are going to make the remaining changes or additional corrections. Once these additional corrections or the changes are made, you are going to release the TRs in a sequential order. When you are not representing this sequential order, or please move the TRs in the below sequence to the basis consultant, he may move the TRs in the sequence or he may not move the TR in sequence. Normally, basis what they will do, they will run it as a batch process. When I say batch process, they will select whatever the TR is released to quality and wherever they have got the approvals. All the TRs they will select like range from number to number, and he will straight away release it. But there is no rule that your TRs must be in the sequential order. They may be in non-sequential also. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So your TR number may be non-sequential also. One setting may be in first CR, second setting may be in some other TR, third setting may be in between. So as a consultant, as a FICO consultant, if this is your configuration, if this is done by you, you must know what is the sequence of TRs. Just like that, you should not create a TR, whatever comes in, you should not save it in. You need to make sure in which TR you are saving your settings and what is the sequence of it. This is to be followed, especially when you are in implementation project. Because in implementation, you will be having so many TRs open at the same time. Even in your support project, you are going to have multiple TRs opened. So when you are saving it, system by default takes the recent used TR number. What system will do? It will propose the recently used TR number. By mistakenly, if you get the prompt, let's say I make a change here. Before that, there is a table called E070. What is this table name? E070. This E070 is the table which will record the TR number. If I copy this TR number, if I put this TR number and if I click on execute, are you able to see this TR on the table or not? Is it appearing or not in the table?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's say you have released TR from development 100 to development 200. You need to open this table in development 200, pass the TR number, click on execute. If it is released, you will find the TR number on the output. If it is not coming on the output, TR is not released. Similarly, you have released TR from development to quality. Log into quality system, open E070 table, input the same TR number. If it is released to quality, if it is moved to quality, you will find the TR number in the table. Similarly, you have sent an email to the basis consultant. You asked him to move the TR because this is urgent. Now, sometimes your basis consultant will move the TR, but he may take some time to respond. Correct? So in that case,
Yes.
what you can do, you can go to the production system, put this TR number, click on execute. If you find the TR on this, don't wait for basis consultant email. Start your working, inform your client that the changes are in production. Kindly test now. But don't wait, don't try to ping him, don't try to email him, don't try to reach out to him whether this is moved or not. So you must know how do you verify from your side whether the activity is completed or not. Okay.
The E0, this C16 from production we need to check as well.
Yeah, you need to check this it in the target clients, not in the source. Because from source you are going to release it to the different target client. So these are all your target client. This is one target client. This is your source. This is your target. These are all target. Okay.
Sir, could you please show this override of configuration by taking an example?
I'll show in the next session. Okay, because we are running out of time. I'll show in the tomorrow's session this TR sequencing and how do you make delta configurations. How do you realize that half settings are here, half settings are somewhere else. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. All right, then let me stop this recording.